Good morning, crafty friends. I see that many of you are saying that you're joining me from cold, snowy, chilly places. Yes, if this is a snow day for you, let me know. Put snow day or some snowflakes over in the chat. If you're new to my channel, my name is Alicia, but you can call me Crafty Al. And I hope we're going to have some crafty fun during today's live stream. Yes, it is awful here in eastern Nebraska. I had to think. We're supposed to get like blizzard-like conditions today. We've had about 7 inches of snow already this week, and we can get up to like 8 more inches. So let's cross our fingers the internet stays on, well, as does the power, correct? If this is your first time joining me for a live, put a 1 over in the chat for me. And if you like my Iowa Hawkeye sweatshirt, you can, give the video your stamp of approval, which if you didn't know, that's what I call it when you give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and maybe share it with a crafty friend. I'd already kind of given you a sneak peek in the thumbnail of what we'll be working with. Spellbinders offered to send me some stuff from their new Monster Birthday collection, and I chose the little monster guy dies, and then they have a coordinating stamp set that goes with all of the little dancing characters. I wanted to show you that. So I do have links in the description box below if you want to check it out. But again, this is part of the Monster Birthday collection. And it's not just monsters. They also have a little dragon. They have dinosaurs and pandas. I was trying right before I went live, I was trying to find some googly eyes because you would think I would have googly eyes in this craft room, but I could not find them. Let me know if you have googly eyes in your craft room. And then if you get this set, I think that would be super cute to use those in place of the little die cut eyes, but we will have to put those together like that today. Let's see. Oh, good. Patricia and Donna, it's your first time live. Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I say let's go ahead and get started because we've got some decisions to make before I can start to get crafty. So you guys know that I love to use, let me bring them in, my color cubes when I do stuff where I'm going to need lots of different colors. So the first thing I want to know, and I'm going to put a poll up over in the chat box. Do you want to do box 1 or box 2? Box 1 has cards. Box 1 has cards 1 through 250, and box 2 has 251 to 500. And then what my plan is to do is to just go in. Oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong page. My plan is then once you pick a box, I'm going to go in and just randomly pull out 3 cards, and then I'll give you another poll to decide what color our monstrous card is going to be. I put a timer on for you to vote in the poll. So while I'm thinking about that, I was going to go see if there were any questions over in the chat. Just like if you joined for the Crafty Advent series, if you need my attention, especially when I start crafting and I can't really check the chat a lot, put either Alicia in all caps or Crafty Owl will work. The best way, though, is if you're on a desktop, or a laptop computer, is if you start typing in @CallMeCraftyOwl, it will pop it up in red letters for me, which, since I haven't put a comment in the chat, I'm going to do that just in case I have to. That way you can tag me. There we go. All right. So Linda says Dollar Tree has Google eyes. And sorry, Laura, not Linda. Sorry. Laura said Dollar Tree. I know. And you would think that I would have some. And I know I did at one point. I'm almost wondering if during one of my big purges, they got let go. Mary, I miss what the poll is. So if we're going to pick cards out of box 1 or box 2. It's kind of a toss up, and according to the poll right now, it's kind of a toss up too. Very, very close. So let me go ahead and end the poll. And with a vote of 53 to 46, so it was tight, guys, we are going to go with box 1. So I'm just going to go, oh, sorry, I need to keep that out because I have a card I still need to share. I'm just going to go in and grab 3 random cards. Okay. So let me put this to the side so I can spread these out and you can look at them. Okay, so we have 29, which is the daisy photo, 59, kind of monochromatic, or 219. Oh, sorry, put it right here in the center, or 219. So I'm going to go ahead and make another poll. And what we're going to do to make it easy, A, B, C, so you don't have to remember the numbers. So A, B, C when I start the poll, okay? And don't just vote with your don't just vote with the comment. I'm actually putting up an official poll because I have tried that before where I try to count everybody's answers and that never works. I'm going to start a timer for 2 minutes. So you can let me, oops, I better do the overhead. You can let me know which one you would like to see made into a monstrous little card. Larissa, I'll be showing them here in a minute, but I'm going to use some new dies from Spellbinders, and there's little monsters we're going to be creating. I kind of know which one I might prefer, although it could be kind of hard to do it, but we'll see. I'm trying to think. My little monster, they have it where the antenna, well, no, I guess this one, the horns are different. So I'm going to try to see how, I'll let you see those colors, and I'm going to figure out how many different colors I'll need maybe. Yeah, 4 or 5 for each monster. Patricia P., those cards are by Sarah Renee Clark, and I do have a link in the description box if you want to check them out. If you were here for the Advent series, I chose one card, and that's what all of the Advent tags were created with. Oh, and I guess Nightbot just put a link to the release. And if you have voted, if you will give this video a thumbs up, I have 56 watching and 24 likes. All right. Oh, we are done. Let's go ahead and close that poll and see which one won. All right. Oh, with it. Okay, it was 66% of you want to go with C. This was the one I was kind of eyeing too. And now comes the hard part to try to figure out cardstocks and inks. Rachel, I think I might have just answered your question. You might have typed that in while I was talking, but they're by Sarah Renee Clark, and I do have links down in the description box. No, Oh, Catherine, I'm so sorry to hear about your father's passing. Big hugs to you. No, I will be announcing the winner on or around the 20th of January, or the winners, I guess. All right, so now what I'm going to do is bring in my Tailored Expressions color ring, and we're going to try to find colors that go with this. Now, this one at the top is very light. To me, that looks like a light gray, so I'm going to find the lightest gray that TE has. maybe not the lightest. I think, well, this is probably the color I'm going to ink blend on, so I will go with sea salt. It is just a little, very slightly gray. All right, so here we have our sea salt, and then an orange. I'm going to go candy corn. That was close. And for the rest of these, since they'll just be little parts of the monster, I'm just going to try to get scraps out for those. Okay, now these greens. We might have to... Nope, cilantro looks good for that. And then we need kind of a brighter green. These two are kind of about the same off, so I'm just going to put them... I think I like the lime zest a little better with that. Oh, no. Well, my bad. I do not have any lime zest cardstock. I just have it in ink. So I went with key lime. And Stellar Crafts by Pam says she still has a Halloween and Christmas Dancin dies. This is my first time trying out these Dancin dies. So I watched a couple videos yesterday. Let's cross our fingers we can make them work. Because yes, not only are these dies super cute, but it is like a motion card. So the recipient, the little monster, will dance. And I think for this, well, it's kind of a purplish too. So at first I was thinking mulled wine, but then it looks a little bit more purpley. But this one I think is too bright. Yeah, I'm going to go with mulled wine on that. This is one of my favorite TE colors. And then finally, just going to go with Oreo black for that final one. And this might just be for the eyeballs. We'll see. Zoom out without... Oop. Getting my ugly desktop. There we go. Okay. So the first thing, I think I'm going to do some ink blending first. And you guys are going to recognize this. When I was kind of thinking yesterday what I wanted to do for this card, I wanted to make it more maybe for a little boy. So sometimes those are hard for me to figure out because I want to add flowers and stuff. Not that little boys don't like flowers, but more traditionally maybe. So I'm going to be using my favorite stencils from the Advent, but what I'm going to do is just stencil a little strip. So I want to get started with that before I start cutting out all of those little pieces for the monsters. So now what I have to do, and maybe I should have done this already, is I want to get out ink colors. To stencil, and this needs 3 colors. I think I'm going to go with these 3 here, which was candy corn, cilantro, and mulled wine. I already kind of figured out these are a little bit, they stencil a little bit less than 3 inches tall. So I'm going to cut this piece of the, what did we say it was? Sugar cube? No. Sea salt. I'm going to cut it to 4 1/4 inches wide, which this already is, by 3 inches tall. Catherine, it is the stencil from the Advent calendar. You know I love that one. And now I'm trying something new. So I love to work on these Tailored Expressions grid papers, but I like to reuse stuff if I can. So as I was cleaning out my craft room over the weekend, I took 3 of these and laminated it. So we're going to see if that will work. If I can, then if it, I'm hoping that the extra ink on the edge doesn't like get on all over my fingers and on, you know, the wrong side of this. So I'm just going to see. This might be a total bust, but I hope not. All right, so what I'm going to do is just put this up in, oh yeah, this is not going to, no, maybe it'll be okay. I don't know if it's too slick. So I'm just going to put it up in this top section in case it does move. And now I'm going to, I want to start off the edge with this. And I'm hoping that where it meets kind of awkwardly in the center, that I can just, cover that up with our Dancin Monster. So for now, I'm going to put a little tape on the stencil. Paula, I think somebody did point out that close to my heart stencil to me, and it was a pretty good one. But I'm looking, I don't know how to explain it. A lot of the ones I'm finding, they are super cool, but it's like a very specific pattern all over. What I like about this one is it kind of changes. I don't know if that makes sense, but I like that it's not just the same all over the place. I'm not sure if this is going to work. I think I need more grid because I'm going to have to, oops. I'm going to have to place this a little bit more exactly. So I don't think this is going to work for today, but I am definitely going to try that. I'll be right back. Just because I need a little more control. And I guess I could laminate one of these as well. Maybe I'll do that also. I have a laminator that does 11 by 17, so. I'm going to put the starting corner. I'm going to just do pencil marks around the starting corner of my piece I'm going to stencil onto. And then let's try this again. To do the bottom corner of this. So when I go to place my next stencil, I'll know where it needs to stay, because what I think I'm going to do is lift this up and move my piece down to stencil. All right, let's see if this will work. I think I'll only bring in one blending brush at a time. Just so I don't accidentally get the ink on the wrong brush, which I did a few times during the Advent series. If you are just coming in, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Make sure if you haven't yet, if you enjoyed today's stream, you give this video your stamp of approval. Helga says you need a sticky grid. Waffle flour has different sizes. I actually do have those. I got some for Christmas. I just have not got them out so that I know how to use them properly. You guys, I totally just did this wrong. Okay, I need to start it down off the page. Oh, goodness. It's a bang up job already, guys. Yeah, I need to have it actually go all the way across the, you know what? No, I don't, because I'm going to trim that down. You know what? No, I'm just going to stick it there. We'll make it work. Karen, you can order these on the Tailored Expression store, and I actually have one for each end. So no matter which way I put it in my ink holder, I know which color it is. All right, yeah, we'll just trim off the ends because that way I don't have to start over. Although there is always a second side to every piece of cardstock that I definitely could have, but yeah, I forgot. I'm going to trim this down a little bit. And I'll make sure that I then flow off the right side. Now what I'm going to do is move this down. I'm going to keep it with the same lines that are already on the grid, but I want to try not to overlap anything. Let's see. I think that looks pretty good. I'm lining up this first little section here with this to make sure it doesn't overlap on the way down. And I will go ahead and put another little mark in the corner here so I know for the second layer. Hopefully this will work since I can't get this stencil in a big one, right? Okay. Now what I'm going to do is put my cardstock back at the original squares. Remove this stencil and bring in the second layer. Ooh, you know what? I better make sure. I don't think these have any kind of a... Oh, no. So, I should have paid attention. So there are actually numbers. So I just need to make sure that the number that's etched in is always right here so that it stencils correctly. And that is not, no. Guys, this is... Okay, the 3 has to be at the top. Some of you might be taking away your stamps of approval. This is kind of a hot mess today. But I think it just goes to show you that even though you watch everybody make these videos, we all do the same things. We have little hiccups. And I'll go in with mulled wine next. This is a pretty dark color, so I usually try to start out rather light-handed because, again, you can always add more pressure and more ink, but you can't really take it away. once again, I don't know if you saw it or if I mentioned it, but I just put a little bit of ATG on the back of this and took off some of the tack with my fingers. And that way I can just make it kind of repositionable and move it where I need it for the next stenciling. Thanks for being willing to roll with my little hiccups here. I appreciate that, guys. I see your encouragement over there in the chat, how all of us do it, right? Ooh, that slipped. Hopefully it didn't. Okay, I think it's okay. Put away the mulled wine and bring in the cilantro. With the third stencil. And again, I need to make sure the etch number is at the top so everything lines up okay. And kind of the good thing about this being a little bit more, it's not exactly uniform. If there's a little mis-stencil or it's a little bit off, it's not as noticeable. Because let me tell you, there's a mis-stencil, so. Yes. Yeah, it's definitely, I use that color a lot. And I guess, like when you're going to place additional layers, always to kind of make sure it lines up okay. Once the live is over, I'll go in and add like all of the ink colors and cardstock colors that I used today, if you are interested. But otherwise, make it work. Use what cardstocks you have and what inks. Oh, this turned out so pretty. Look at that, guys. Now, this is the one that's a little off, so I'm going to adjust it. Ooh, and that's why I closed the lid on my ink. Helga, you might have accidentally closed your chat. No, if you're chatting, you haven't. I don't know. Maybe go out and come back in, refresh it, because I'm still seeing comments popping up. All right, guys. So here is our finished stencil, our stenciled piece. Oh, I love this. And now what I'm going to do is trim that down so that the edges so that the color is the, I'm going to try to, no, I think I'm going to have it bleed off the edge just so to make it a little easier. So I just trimmed a little bit off the top. I'm going to try, no, it needs to be a little bit less than 2 3/4. Okay, so then I trimmed this to 2 5/8. Hopefully I can remember that later. And I'm going to trim this, I think, to, let's do 4 inches wide. So just take 1/8 of an inch off each side. And now we have a little background for our dancing monster, which that's what we're going to try next, guys. I'm going to try the Dancin Monster. Oh, I have another poll. So which monster should we put together? Do we want to do, let me get it typed in here, 2 eyes or one? Well, oh, I guess this is actually 3 eyes, isn't it? So 2 eyes or 3 eyes. Let me get those in the polls. 2 eyes, 3 eyes. And go ahead. You have 2 minutes to vote in that. I'm going to take a little drink of water. Even though the wind chill is way in the negatives, I am down here still warm in the basement. And normally it's freezing down here. Great, Helga. Glad that worked. All right, we got about 1.5 minutes left. Again, here I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it. I know, Karen, it is going to be hard to choose. Here it says it's 7 degrees and it feels like -11, and it's only going to get worse. All right. About 45 more seconds. Yes, she is, Paula. Thank you for checking in. I was kind of hoping for what I thought was the 1 eyes, so I had to put together less eyes, but then I noticed on the antenna it has more eyeballs. And again, if you're coming in late, this is the color cube card that we all picked together, and that's where the color combination is coming from today. Oh, all right, let's close that poll and see which one won. All right, 62 to 37. We are going with 3 eyes. All right, so now this is, the tricky part here where we have to start figuring out what color to cut everything. So for that, I'm going to bring in my die cutter. And I'm going to definitely keep this handy. I did try to, I was looking at this earlier, trying to figure out, oh my goodness, which eyeball parts go with which, but I think that Spellbinders made it easy. You see how here, like, the teeth are white? Well, here's some eyeballs with the teeth. So I think that this is the white. And it looks like these eyeballs are the same size. So I think this is what I'll need for my monster to make the whites of his eyes and his teeth, which you could either do like the row of teeth or the fangs because it's the same body. So that will actually cut out of the soft stone since that was the color combination. Okay, now we need to pick body. So I'm wondering, kind of like this little guy, how his belly and his body were kind of the same color, just different shades. I think we're going to try that for our monster. And then we'll cut the legs and the antenna out of the other two colors. Keep your fingers crossed that I remember that. So first, though, let's cut our sea salt. And that's going to be out of this, which I'm going to grab a... Oh, no, I have a scrap. So we'll do sea salt with the eyes. And since I have room on there, I'm going to bring in the black. And I think the black would be the center of the eye. So I think that's the smallest one. So I'm going to put that on there. Now let's see. I think what I'm going to do first, I think, is try to build these eyes. I'm going to go ahead and cut everything, but then we're going to try to see if I can get these eyes put together. I know I mentioned it during the advent, but little fussy dies aren't my favorite, but when I saw these, I just had to, like, please, yes, I would love to play with those. Just so fun. And I'm going to put my little eyeballs. I keep this tray off to the side that's magnetic. So I'm just going to put that on there for now so I don't lose it. Same thing with this one. And I think so I don't lose all of my little pieces, I'm going to put them in this little tray here. Some of these could, I think, get away from us. Karen, I do not. I just have the regular one. I have the extended one for my cuddle bug, but I don't keep that over here anymore since I use this one now most of the time for larger dies. Oh yeah, these are tiny. And yeah, that's probably a good point, Helga. Had I thought about it before, I think I'll remember though. But yes, definitely a note, a helpful reminder note is always good for me. All right. Now I know that we want to do the body from the greens. So we have the body and its little belly here, which I think I'll do the body darker. And the belly from the light green. And I like it has little indentations for some texture on the body. And then it has the indentation where the belly will go to make it easy. And its mouth is actually slit. So we're just going to push those teeth into there. And okay, now for our others, I have the orange and the mulled wine left. So I think we'll do orange for the antennas and then the mulled wine for the legs. Oh, legs and arms out of the mulled wine. So here's our legs, I think. Oh no, those are our arms. And then our legs, to make it dancing, it has a hole right there. Has anybody in the chat ever made any of these dancing dies? Let us know. Yeah, I know that when I was watching the videos, they had tons of cute ones. And, you know, if this is for a little boy or a little girl, they'll like that it has some movement. Mary did the Christmas mouse. Yes, Cindy, it's always good to have that placement to help you put it together. I appreciate that as well. And here we go. It's a colorful little monster. Oh, Day of the Dead. Somebody's gonna make their Santa one into Dancin. Yeah, I bet if you have a die that has all those different parts, once you kind of know how this goes together, I bet it could be possible to like convert other dies to make it work. I'll be right back. All right, so now we have our little pieces, and I'm gonna try something new that I got for Christmas. So I've seen a lot of these different companies come out with these. Well, you know, when I saw a rainbow one on Amazon, I had to have it. Now, I will tell you, I think I got 2 in a package, and they come with a black wax tip, but I had heard from other people that sometimes that leaves black marks on their stuff. So I did buy some white wax tips. So this is my first time using this, so we'll cross our fingers. All right, let's get our eyeball parts out and see if I can figure this out. Might get a little bit quiet here while I'm trying to do this. All right, and I will bring in a little picture here so we have it. Okay, so I know that this is my big eyeball, and here it has, which this is nice too. I don't know if you can see it, but it also has indentations. That's nice. I bring that in, and my Barely Art glue. Thank you, Karen. This one has, the other end is a pokey thing too. I mainly got it for this, hoping it would help me place gems, but yeah. Okay. Oh, you know what, guys? I missed cutting something. Between the white of the eye and the iris, or pupil, whatever, there was a little colorful part. So I need to cut that real quickly. So that, oops, ooh, see, that's why I put on my, so I'm just going to cut this off camera real quickly out of the dark green. We'll just go like they did, how what the body was the eyeball. So let me cut that one really quick over here. Paula wants to know, how does the Barely Art glue compare to the Tombow multi-adhesive? So I have not used Tombow for a while. And even back when I did use it, it wasn't my main adhesive. I always used ATG, but when I started using liquid adhesive more, I did the art glitter glue, which isn't necessarily for glitter. But for me, if I didn't personally care for the Tombow the Tombow adhesive, but in a pinch it worked. I just like how this definitely dries clear, and you don't usually see it even if it does seep out. And when I would use the Tombow, I would always see it outside of my stuff. But if it's what you're used to and you like it, keep using it until it's gone. But I would definitely give this or art glitter glue a try. Okay. I don't know. Do I need to heat up this wax to make it a little, I don't know if I have to heat it up. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is put in the center, and that's going to be matching up to this. I need to clean this out. All right, Trisha says I can just use it. Thank you. Yeah, I'm way new to these pickup tools. So I'm just going to put a little adhesive just in the middle of that. And let's see if this, ooh, that worked nicely. I turned this around so both of the little divots are at the top. Just going to gently push that down. And now we'll move on to our little eyeballs and their green centers. Maybe I need to try to pick it up with that. And I do too when I'm using this glue. I try to let it get a little bit tacky before I go to put my piece on it. And that usually, I think, helps it grab the adhesive. Oops. Oh my goodness, that's going everywhere except where I want it to. I got it in there a little bit crooked, so I was trying to turn it with my picker tool, but I didn't want to go. And you know, these don't have to be perfect, right? Oh, thank you for the tip on not pushing too hard. And I see somebody else also broke theirs. Okay, now I need to put the black part in the middle of the eye. So same thing here. I'll let this get a little tacky. And because of the liquid glue, I can go in and adjust it just a little bit. The little moon piece wasn't quite all in the same place for all three parts, so I could adjust that since I'm using liquid. Ooh, these ones are little. All right. So yay, the fussiest part is done. Now I'm going to take a drink. Good point, Eve. Once it was on, I could have moved it with that tip. Very good point. I'll have to remember that. Okay, which I might need here soon. So these eyes go on the antenna. And on our little monster, it kind of has the divots kind of going up to the same point here. So I'll try that too. But you know what? If they're looking different ways, that's okay. My eyes, if I don't have my glasses on, they look different ways too. So my monster can have a little cross. Oh, wait a second. Move that. All right. Put those to the side. Now our little monster needs some eyeball right here in the center. Oh my gosh. I love a little Cyclops monster. Look at that, you guys. Oh, that's so cute. Now we'll put his belly on, and there's more of a, oh, sorry, more of a flat edge here, and that goes toward the bottom of his body. I think I better pick that up with this. Or not. Okay, I'm going to use my fingers on that one. Now, we don't put the legs onto this. Those go onto the back of the card. But this does, it has something poking up there. I don't know if it's like, oh, it's this right here. We probably, okay, let me look at my, this is going to be a birthday card. So we might put a birthday hat on this little guy. Maybe. I'm going to get them put together first, then we'll figure that one out. It kind of does look like a pickle. You're right, it kind of does. Aw. Okay, I like pickles though. Now I'm going to try to figure out how to get my antenna on there. But in case I want to do a party hat, I need to make sure that the antenna are far enough over. All right. So I'm just going to put some glue here at the bottom, on the front of the antenna. And you know, you don't have to place these antennae exactly like they do on the picture. You know, it doesn't have to be the exact right angle. Make these little guys your own. Oh. And let's see. Get our hands put on. Oh, we need to put his teeth in too. Let's do that first. I think we'll have the little row of teeth like in the example. I think. Kind of want to figure out, okay, how I want them to go. I'm just going to put a little row of glue right up here. Yes, I wanted some dancing googly eyes, Catherine. I did try to find them. I have a feeling, though, I got rid of them. Or I have a feeling that I'll find them right after we're done here together. These teeth might be the trickiest part of the whole thing. Sorry, got a little out of camera there. All right, we're going to call that good. He's got a little extra tooth over here, little extra teeth. Oh. And then our arms. I think kind of figure out how I want his arms to go. And I don't know if they turned this arm over to have him waving like that, but then you know how when you die cut something, one side is always like kind of like smooth and rounded and the back side isn't? Because if I put this arm, Yeah, I think maybe, oh, if we have them both up in the air. Yeah, I think we'll do that because I don't like the way it looks the other way. If you do want to check out the Spellbinder's release, don't forget I have some links down in the description box. And okay, so I'm not going to put on the legs, but I do want to make a little party hat. I think I'll make it out of the light green. Just to bring some more of that color to the top. Good point. They probably did cut two of the same arm. Yeah, because that was not working out. But yeah, that would make sense. Okay, that wants to stick in. There we go. I think for now there is a little die to make something for the puffball, but I think maybe I'll put a little gem on that later. So I didn't, it did cut it, but I didn't keep the little circle for the puffball. Those are the only two arms in the die set. Aww. Cute. Now I'm going to zoom out and we'll see if we can figure out what to do with the rest of the card. So we already had this, and I'm going to have, ooh, that's pretty busy, isn't it? That's really busy. We might have to put some vellum behind him because I do want to use this. You know that. Let's make the rest of the card. So I'm going to make my card base. I'm going to do that out of the sea salt. And I prefer top fold card bases, but you could always make it with the side fold. And my trimmer, if I don't undo that base, it never wants to cut as good because it folds out. And because you know I love it, I think I'm going to get out some more mulled wine. And I'm going to cut this to 4 by 5 1/4. And then we'll have some little borders, but I was going to put, yeah, I'm going to cut a piece of the soft stone to have the border, or the, I can't speak. I'm going to cut a piece of the sea salt, so that the mulled wine is a mat for it. So this will be 5 by 3 3/4. Now we need to figure out our sentiment and how we want our little monster. So his legs will be the part that's dancing. And I would like to maybe have equal parts above and below him. Oh, so he's not as tall. So sorry, I had to sit and think for a minute. So we have sentiments here, and I think I'm going to use sending monstrous birthday wishes. But I think that I need to pretty much put my card front together so I know where to stamp that at. And do I want... Okay. I think I'm just going to put this centered top to bottom on my other pieces. I am going to stick, I saw somebody mention using craft. I am going to stick with the color combo from the card. But yes, you could always add whatever color base you prefer. I'm wondering, I think I'm going to cut this down just a little bit more. Find out how tall my monster is. His legs don't stick down a whole lot. So he's about 2.5 inches tall. So I think I'm just going to cut this to 2 inches. Just so he can stand out a little bit more. I'm going to cut it shorter because I don't like the way that looks right there. It's a little bit more noticeable when it's not all together. Kind of tricky to cut it when you've already put adhesive on the back. Truth here, it said, where is the background pattern paper from? This I actually stenciled at the beginning of the live today. I used one of the stencils from the advent calendar. A little bit hanging off there. We'll take that off. I am just going to, for now, put this little guy's legs on with some Scotch removable tape so I can just, you know, figure out kind of how tall he is all together and where I want everything to go. Okay, I'm going to go over and get some vellum. Sorry, I also found some circle dies. And I want one that's big enough, if possible, that it goes all the way behind him, or it. I think that'll be good. So I just got out some of my 17-pound vellum. It's the thinnest one that I have. Just want a little bit to help him stand out, or sorry, them to stand out from that background. If you haven't already, if you'll give this video your stamp of approval, give it a like, share it with a crafty friend. Let's see. So now he stands out, but you can still see that pattern behind him. I'm just going to call it a him. We're going to make it a boy. Okay, I'll figure that out later. All right, for the sentiment, I think I'll go ahead and tack down my vellum so I know where my sentiment can go. And for this, it will be hidden by our monster. So I'm just going to put some adhesive right in the center. And I'm going to do my best to center it left to right and top to bottom on the stenciled strip. Yeah, yes, Pickle the monster, whatever they want to be. I'll try to remember to call him Pickle. Look, I just said him. All right. All right, now sending monstrous. I want that birthday wishes. So birthday wishes, I went all the way down in the corner. And I think for ink, I'm just going to use black for this to make it simple. I'll bring in, which I don't know, some of you have seen it. I think if you were on maybe my channel member live, it's kind of hard. You can't see it all, but for Christmas, I got my little ink pad carousel from Stamp and Storage. It is so fun. But now I just got to find my Oreo. There we go. I'm only going to stamp one at a time, but I want to put both in here so I kind of know where they should be placed. So I kind of like how that would go down. I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to put birthday wishes over to the right, and then the sending kind of, the G kind of dips down, and I think that fits nicely to the left of the B. So that's what we'll do there. And I got to make sure it's straight. And I'm honestly not sure how straight that is, and I don't want it to look too off. So I'm going to bring in my piece of clear acetate and just cover up the card with that. And then we'll see if that works. That looks pretty good. But now I haven't tested on my card. I just tested it on this piece of clear cardstock, which I can clean off and reuse. All right. There we have that. Oh, I did forget to wet my stamp cleaner. Oh, there's a little bit of moisture left on there. I usually try to do that before I get started. Oops. Uh-oh, I got some black ink on there. I'm going to do this again to make sure it's okay. And to avoid getting my fingers in the ink that I just stamped, I put it at the top. Let's see how it looks. I think that'll be good. All right, now there was a little black ink on there, so I'm going to try to clean that off. Otherwise, we might have to put a gem over it, which make it work, right? I guess I better do my sound effect. I like to use a mono sand eraser when I try to get ink off. And I usually try to turn the card as I erase. I don't know if it helps coming in from different angles. Yeah, and unless you knew it was there, it's erased well enough. Okay, now let's get our little monster where it needs to go. So like that. Now I want to, he's just stuck to the back of this monster with some Scotch removable tape. So I'm going to hold down his legs, Pickle's legs, and see if I can just peel off the body. Yes. And now I'm going to peel that removable tape off the back, and I am going to put it on his legs so I know exactly where the legs should go, because what we have to do now is put a little foam dot in here, and if it's smaller than the circle, it needs to be right at the top of that opening so that when it goes like this, the legs don't fall down more. So let's see here. I'm going to bring in my dimensionals. And they say you want to use as big a foam as possible, but the regular dimensionals are too big, so I will have to use the mini dimensionals. But I'm going to put one right at the top of this. So you'll see. So it's touching the cardstock so it can't fall down any further. And now that part is done. You see how Those are just loose now, so they can dance around. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to, just so I don't have to mess, I'm going to go ahead and tape those legs back in place. Just so they're not wiggling when I try to get my monster on. And I'm thinking I probably don't want the legs to go any further up either. So I'm going to take these again. And I'm going to put them slightly above. I don't know if that's the thighs, but you see how there are some like indentations there. I'm going to put them just right outside that so it can still move a little bit, but it won't go up toward the top of the card. Here. Okay. Catherine, I know the videos I was watching, they actually use squares of foam, so I think it should still move. This is my first one, though. We're trying this together. And now I need to put some foam on the back of this little guy. And to keep everything the same height, I'm going to use dimensionals. But I need to make sure I don't put any where these are. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that those foams didn't knock into these, but they should be fine. And now I'm going to put some smaller ones on the arms and the little googly eyes here at the top. All right, guys. Oh, I'm going to put this on the card base first so we don't have so much to get on there later. I see you guys are concerned about him dancing. I did see others do that, but I will make sure that the legs still wiggle before I put my topper on. Now they don't wiggle because I have them down with the Scotch tape. Ooh, that adhesive stuck quick. Oh, good thing. Way to look out for me, guys. Let's see. I just don't want them to move up. Let's see. Yeah, you're right. They wouldn't have done that. Good. Thanks for pointing that out. I'm just going to take that off. I guess if they move up, they move up. Okay. I do want to keep that tape down, though, while I put my body on. And now let's get all our release paper pulled off. I think once I'm done with my live stream, I get to go out in the weather and help snow blow, because I don't think we're going to be able to do it all at once if we get the 8 inches. All right. Okay, guys, let's cross our fingers. Ah! Okay, I don't... It's hard to... well, wait, hold up. Okay, you really have to swing that. But his legs do swing back and forth. All right. Now let's, oops. Oh, see, yeah, see when the, here, I guess I could do it. Now when I laid him down, his legs went all the way there. That's what I was trying to avoid. But you know what? For my first Dancin Monster, I'm going to say it looks good. And I think I want to put on some gems. Put one on his hat. Let's see if I have anything kind of flat here that will match my colors. I think I'm going to do some orange. I think that orange is fun. And trying to use my new tool, but I couldn't get it to pick up the gem without moving it. There we go. I put one right there on the party hat. Oh, goodness. I got to remember to get it with the tip and not with... Okay, we're going to call that good. Now, the next time I do a little dancing thing, I'll hopefully know what to do. I have to say, I don't know if I care for this picker tool. This might have been a fail, guys. Or maybe my gem, like my gem doesn't want to stick. All right, I'll have to fix that later because that's just taking too much time. But there we go. I will add gems later when maybe I'll have to get out my old tools. All righty. So just like with the Advent, guys, if you would like to win my very first Dancin card, you get a chance to do that. Again, if it isn't your style or you didn't like something about it, you do not have to enter to win. But if you would like to win it, let me share my screen. Maybe. If you would like to win the card, in the chat, type in the hashtag monster, and it should look just like it does on screen. No spaces. It needs to have the hashtag. Now you can only type it in. You can only get one entry, but if you type it in incorrectly, go ahead and retype it correctly so you get your entry. But you don't need to put it over there like 5 times because you still just get that one entry. So I'll give you a couple minutes to get that in and we'll do the drawing. And then I forgot to get my my giveaway form ready. I just need to have a standard one that's not the Advent. So if you are the winner, I'll tell you how to get me your information. Unfortunately, I got the giveaway going way before I knew its name was Pickle, but that would have been fun. All right, got about 40 seconds. I almost said 40 minutes. There's no way I'll wait for 40 minutes until for the monster. Make sure if you haven't already, give this video your stamp of approval. And yes, Rachel, it does kind of look like an avocado too. You are correct. Oh, Elisa tried to beat me to the stamp of approval request. Thanks, Elisa. All right, here we go. Let's go make sure the numbers have quit going up. All right, I'm going to go ahead and draw. Good luck, everyone. Congratulations to Karen. Congratulations, Karen. Karen, what you'll need to do is send me an email and let me know that you won the monster card. And my email address is callmecraftyal@gmail.com. But you don't have to remember that. It is at the bottom of the description box. So once you reach out, you'll need to let me know what your name was here in the chat. I will get your address and get it sent out. Thank you to everybody for congratulating Karen and it being good sports. I definitely could not make, I think it was 29 Dancin Monster cards in an hour, right, to send everybody one. But thank you so much for being here with me while we learn this together. My next Dancin Monster card will hopefully be better. If you have any last minute questions, you can put those over there now. I'll give you a couple minutes in case you do. I'm just trying to delay having to go out and snow blow. I already had some neighbors who were out there because they probably can't get through 8 total inches either. Give one last look at Pickle's birthday card. All right, I think we are done, guys. Thank you again for everybody who was here, who joined in, helped pick the colors and pick which monster we were going to use. Hopefully I'll be back maybe 1 or 2 times next week. So make sure to keep an eye out on my community tab because I'll share if I'm going to go live. I also share over in the Facebook group, which if you want to join that, the link is at the bottom, should be at the almost the very bottom of the description box. You do need to answer some questions and agree to the group rules and it will just automatically let you in. But yeah, I announce it there too. I usually make an event, so you know that. And guys, until my next one, I hope you all have a crafty day. Bye-bye.